Hey guys, welcome back to 14s because we are 14s and this podcast is 14s. Today we're 3 teens because our lovely Haley needed a nap. We filmed one episode already this morning and she was falling asleep.
She's not spry? Because I'm
Quite
spry.
literally falling asleep on the podcast. So
she literally we were like, hey Haley, do you have anything to add to this? And she was like,
are we still filming?
So we had to call her twice in the span of 2 minutes to wake up.
Oh my god. And she's the one that chose when we were gonna film.
Okay, we love you, Haley. So it's 3 teens right now. I'm Lauren.
I'm Gloria. There's an order and I would wish that you stick to it.
Isabella's before you in the order.
I'm before you.
Who knew?
If I'm not saying the intro, I'm always second.
She really said there's an order.
You're always saying the intro. I never know.
Oh my gosh.
Anyway, I'm Isabella.
I'm a Gloria.
And we are going to be talking today about what having a set friend group is like. Because until a year and a bit ago, I had 2 best friends, and that was or I had just my best friend, and then
best friends sitting in a room. They might kiss. Yes, we will. Ooh,
Isabella's on some other bi journey over there. I don't know what's happening.
I'm awake now, y'all.
I need to go feed my animals.
I need to go brush my hair.
I want Pop-Tarts.
Ooh, strawberry Pop-Tarts.
No, I want the s'mores ones.
Ooh, s'mores Pop-Tarts toasted with
I've only ever had cinnamon or strawberry.
The s'mores are really good. Okay, so we're going to be talking about having our set friend group. And you guys have experienced most of the friend group before. There's a couple people who have asked, they don't want to be on the podcast, or one person who just, you should get Luke on the podcast.
No, Luke, I love you if you're listening. No, you're not. But it would be 2 me's, because it would just be Luke and I being haha, we're superior. I know that we're annoying whenever we're together.
Okay. So let's define our friend group really quickly.
Oh my god. Do we have all day?
I must just stick with the logistics, the simple. Okay. It started probably last March when we started Zooming. And I tell the origin story?
We don't need to do this.
No, you can tell the origin story because it's kind of funny.
Okay. So so Isaac was bored, which happens a lot. And when Isaac gets bored, bad things
happen. I thought you said born. I thought you said Isaac was born.
That's too early in the origin.
That's the origin story. I mean, that's technically where it starts. Anyway, and so I was okay, same. And so we decided, we were can we call, it was quarantine. Can we call some people? Maybe play Truth or Dare. Truth or Dare is fun. Let's do that. And so we create a group chat, and his phone is an Android, so it ruined everything.
God. I remember this.
And there was 17 different strands of this group chat because his phone kept kicking everyone out. And if we remembered another person we wanted to add, it wouldn't work, and we had to start over. And there was so much happening. 17.
I don't know why I was invited.
You were fun. And so then we got a bunch of people, and there was I think
I don't know why I was invited. There were a lot of people in that group chat.
I remember why, actually, Isabella.
Isabella was the only person
she'll be interesting. She'll be entertaining.
It was really
I am just here to entertain. You might as well call me a freaking stripper at this point.
It was everyone who didn't talk.
You also are the only one that sits on Zoom without a shirt on, so.
Hey, I have clothes on.
Sometimes. Okay.
Oh,
love you. And so, and there was 12 people in it, and then only some people came to this Zoom, and we were I don't even remember if we actually played Truth or Dare. We just talked.
We just asked each other random questions.
Yeah. And it was kind of fun, and we were hey, we should do this again. And so then we did it again, maybe the next night. And then we created a group chat of the people that came those nights. We created one, and we called it Late Night Zooms with a Z at the end. And
there's a Z at the end?
Mm-hmm. Or maybe it's just Zooms.
No, it's Zooms with a Z at the end.
We don't even know the name of our own group chat.
Wait, all I know is there's the explosion.
Yeah, there's
it's
like the fire explosion emoji.
Yeah.
And then thus the Zoom group was born. And at this point, there were 5 of us. It was me, Haley, Isabella, Gloria. So the podcast shotties. No, podcast hosts. Shotties weren't involved. Yeah.
Isaac was really the lone man.
No,
And then it was Isaac.
Here's what we were talking about last night.
Do we get to know?
No, not that part. Saran was always in the group chat, but he was in the group chat because I had a little thing for him. So we
talked about this before. Is this a new discovery?
Well, like, I think it was like, I didn't realize like there was literally no point in him being in the group chat, but like, because he would never join. But anyway.
Well, at this point, yeah, Saran was in the group chat. At this point,
he was always in the group chat, but
he doesn't put a lot of effort into things.
No, and he also wouldn't join because he had his notifications off at this point. So like, he wouldn't even text. And so, and like, so on nights when we were really bored, I would text him and be like, "Can you come up? Please come." And he would come like once a month. And anyway, so it was us 5, and it was like the OP for a couple months. And then who got added next?
Well, then Saran just became a real member.
What would happen is like we would be like bored and we would want someone to like spice it up. So we would call like Drew or Sky. So, but they were never added to the group chat. They would just come if we were bored for like a night, right?
Hi! What do you have to say to the podcast?
What do you have to say to the podcast?
So,
here you go.
What's the podcast about?
Teens.
About teens?
Yeah.
Can't live without them. Can't kill them.
So then Saran started actually coming because we got bored so much. We were like, "Can you come?" And then
he didn't start coming until like October. I think Jack was coming before he was.
No.
Yeah, because Jack would join Zooms. Well, what would happen was like everyone else would leave. It would just be me and Gloria, and then I would be like, "Let's invite Jack." So Jack would stay on until like 1 or 2 a.m. with us. But he didn't get added to the group chat until I want to say like maybe like September.
Okay. So
he has commitment issues. He didn't commit to.
I think Saran and Jack like kind of would come sporadically, like around the same time.
And then Saran didn't start coming until like October.
Until after. No, they didn't both start coming until after the Ask the Opposite Gender episode,
which was in August.
So it wasn't September.
September is after August, Gloria.
No, I know, but I don't think it was that late after. Like, I feel like it was really soon after the Ask the Opposite Gender. Because they were like, "Oh, I saw you like last week on that one Zoom." Do you think they realized how good they like jived?
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, because that's the first time they met. So they had never been on a Zoom together before that. I think they had both joined, but on separate nights. I don't think they'd ever been on together.
Because when Saran was there, we were entertained and didn't need Jack. It was Jack was there, we were entertained and didn't need Saran. Because I didn't know Saran that well, and Isabella had kind of recently broke up with him, so we weren't gonna add him. You were the one that was like friends with him,
and he was friends with Isaac.
He was also the answer to all the psych questions, so we could.
Oh my God! Stop.
So yeah, we went through this period of time where we played a game called Psych on our phones.
It's like made by Ellen, and it's like, what would this person's superhero name be? And you respond. And like you could make it Princess Dazzle Sparkle Girl. We made them interesting. Like we didn't do Princess Sparkle Girl. We'd be like the Funtastic Blaster.
That's no better. That is no better.
No. Like we would just make them like interesting, and we would just so like if like we would kind of like roast each other a bit. So if it's like, what is Gloria's superhero name?
Oh no.
What is Lauren's superhero name? We'd be like the overly nice weird one. And then instead of being like purple poopy head unicorn.
You sounded like Olivia in that moment. Moral of the story, we did some things.
Don't say that. And it's cool because you could use inside jokes or like say other people's names in your answers. It was fun. And then we got really bored of it because everything started getting so repetitive, and we would
they only have like 50 questions. So if you play every night, like we got the same questions while we were playing every night, but like new inside jokes kept being created and we had new answers.
Mm-hmm. Or it was like a different person. So it'd be like Isabella's superhero name, Isaac's superhero. Yeah. So
but then it was like
that happened for a while. And then is this when Josh got added?
We need to wrap this story up.
Yeah.
Basically, Josh got added in like October. People were kind of weird about him. Then he was weird about us. But he was also Saran's like best friend. So it just didn't really work with the dynamic of the group. Saran, Josh is no longer in the group. No hard feelings towards him. It just didn't work out for anybody's mental health.
It's not me, it's you. Not you, it's me.
Basically it was weird because like when it was the first time like a best friend had been like in the Zoom group of someone else. So it messed up their friendship dynamic and it messed up so it was like he's a great person and we're all still friends with him. He just like doesn't cover the Zoom anymore.
Okay, so now let's get on to the actual relationship.
Yeah, Haley and Josh are really close. They really
listen. And then Luke started joining to do homework with us.
Oh yeah.
Now, the final, not the final, I'm sure it'll change at some point, but the current Zoom is us four podcast girls, Jack and Saran, who you know, Isaac, who was supposed to be our tech guy for the podcast, and then we figured everything out on our own.
He listens to the podcast when he cleans.
I know. He's going to listen to this because it's about our friend group. I have seen I've never seen the product of his coding.
I've played the games.
We figured everything out ourselves.
Okay, I'm kidding.
Women in STEM.
Women in STEM, we did our own. I felt so techie when I found our RSS link.
When we got that SD card on the computer, I felt so techie.
Girl, oh my gosh, we are women in STEM, for real.
I was like, okay, leaving it in the computer, it's deleted. So taking it out is the only option. Everyone was like, okay, we took it out and everything was completely fine.
Yep. The amount of airdropping we tried to do that day. Anyway. Okay.
The air wasn't tainted. It was polluted.
Okay, so we are called the Zoom group. Like everybody that knows us refers to us as that.
Yeah, like my best friend, she's like, oh, are you Zooming tonight with the Zoomies or the Zoom group? Like what's going on with that? Like
I only have friends within the Zoom group, so no one refers to it as that in my life except with people in the group.
Bethany and Drew and Sky all do. Like they all know us as the Zoom group.
Sadly, Drew does. He wishes he didn't.
He wishes he didn't.
He wishes he didn't. Okay.
So, but what I like, this is my first and it's really perfect. It's 4 guys, 4 girls. Like everything's just balanced. So we've hung out as like full group squad multiple times, different locations. We've done like ice skating, people's basements.
Every time we go to the mall, everybody, like with any group of people, everyone thinks that we're all of a sudden going to become rich and stylish.
Yeah, no, that never happens.
None of which happened. There needs to just be like a rec room. It should be just an empty room.
Like a community center.
And the Zoom group needs to just get better at talking. Like I wish we could just go somewhere, sit and have a conversation.
Yeah.
Perks of having a Zoom friendship.
More disadvantages.
That was the joke. Like, it gets really hard because usually I just had like 12 friends in total that I was like close with, you know? And so I'd mix and match who I was hanging out with. There usually be like one consistent person, like my favorite of them, but it was whatever. And no one could get mad because it was just, I decided to hang out with a friend today and you happened to be my friend. And this person wasn't my friend, that like wasn't the friend I chose. But now we have a designated group and there's 8 of us in total. How many people can be there to where it's just, I invited my 4 friends, or where it's you're leaving out the other 4 people? Because that is like the line we're tiptoeing on. Because like no one like feels good. I mean, the guys usually say no, so they don't really get that upset. But like if I hung out with Saran, Isabella, Haley, and Isaac, like just making a group that wouldn't naturally occur. Like, is that a Zoom hangout or was me picking those people? You know? And so
yeah, they're called Zoom hangouts because we call it like it's named after the group. Because so at what point, because there's been things that like only a few, it's like spur of the moment or like not everybody was in town, whatever, or we just like do something.
There are big planned ones where we try to get everyone to go. So Ron waits last minute and usually can't go by usually his own choice.
Yes.
And then there's also like some people just came to watch me and Gloria in the musical, you know, like that.
Yeah, and like people came to watch me in some sort of like film fest thing. Like there are things that like happen.
Everyone was invited to that. It was just who couldn't go. I'm not like talking about that because like I had the ability to go. I just physically couldn't. Yeah. Like if we hung out with a few of us, is that just us hanging out as a few of us, or did we purposely not invite people? And then we feel like we can't say it, or when we do say it, they're like, "I'm not mad." So I never know like what the right answer is.
okay, let's talk about some perks, because we talked about like the struggle of, is this like being tied to like it being the group, like we can't have individual.
If you need to hang out with someone, or you need someone to go to something or whatever, you text one group chat and everyone you're closest with is there.
Yep.
And it's not like, again, like I said, I used to just have 12 close friends and they might not be close friends with each other. It's not like called Gloria's friends that you might not be friends with and I text it. It's like everyone has mutually agreed. So like Isaac's fine with going with just Lauren and Saran. Haley's fine with going with Saran and Isabel. Like every combination of people pretty much can work.
For the most part.
It's so great because you never have to worry about like awkward, oh, I need to make sure I stay with this friend and introduce them because they don't know these people very well.
You have a designated birthday party because you know when you had friends from different schools and it was terrible. Mm-hmm. Well, now it also is hard because if you invite someone that's not in the Zoom group, they're going to feel intensely left out.
Oh, yeah. That's interesting. But like, it's just, what was I going to say? Like, no, like if you like need support in something, you text one thing to one group chat, you have the most support in the world.
For real. And it's so great because I like the thing about it, when we hang out, like I will go from like we're playing charades with Haley to shooting darts with Saran to playing pool with Isaac to doing just dance, you know, like every combination of people works. And then we talk all as a group. Like it's so great. So yeah, okay. Also, unpopular opinion, our group chat, we've had like a total of 4 non-Zoom related, because usually the group chat is mainly just for the Zoom link.
Send the link.
Yeah. Like if you scroll back, it's that, and it's Isabella being like, come to 1X. It's like
it's Isabella sending TikToks and 70 Zoom links. It takes up so much storage because it's just links.
Yeah. And then so we've had like 4 total conversations and they are so fun.
Once it was about the snow.
Yeah, it was about the snow blower, and then there was
that was 14.
That was 14.
It was that one day we woke up and there was snow and no one like was like, it's gonna snow tomorrow, because that's what we do where we live. It's like everyone, it's a whole ordeal.
It's a whole to do.
Even though it happens every day. So
for real, we act like we've never seen snow every time it snows.
So no one like talked about it this time in particular. And so we woke up and everyone was like, where the frick did all this snow come from?
This is very true.
I got a new phone, so it's not on my phone anymore. But if someone would like to find that conversation,
we're talking about Holiday World. We're talking about Luke's puppy. We talked
Holiday
about
World now has squishmallows. I'm down. I mean,
that's Island.
All of it is either planning hangouts, telling the info for the hangouts, sending Zoom links, or like our 3 random conversations. One was about this house. So yeah, we've gone through periods where like we didn't Zoom for a little bit. But it's like when we come back, there's no awkwardness. It's like the old rhythm.
Yeah,
this is true.
So I feel like we obviously still have friends outside of the group, and like it doesn't, but it's just that it's a group dynamic that changes so many things, because I could have 7 friends that I'm as close with as this one, and I like probably do have other, you know, I have like probably not 7, but I have like 3 that I'm like as close with. But just the group dynamic is what makes it different.
And like, I guess what helped is that we all have or had a best friend outside of the Zoom. Mm-hmm. So like, there was no like, I'm mad that my best friend looks like they're getting closer with this person.
Yeah, or I'm getting close. There's no jealousy involved.
There is jealousy involved.
Well, there's like jealousy there would be.
It's not best friend jealousy. It's like other stuff, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Because we're not scared of like losing our best friend because our best friend isn't in the group.
Yeah.
Nobody has that's why like the thing with Josh was weird.
Everyone's best friend is in a different place.
And like at any point like if like we're like with our friends, like we could like I join the Zoom with Olivia sometimes. Mm-hmm. And like I don't think it's crazy awkward. But
no,
and Saran has joined with Nail and stuff.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I haven't hung out with him, so that's not.
But it also helps that like Lauren and Gloria are kind of like friends with Olivia, so like that just helps. But
yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, and like she's come multiple times, so, like everybody knows who she is.
Been new.
And like she and Isaac, I think, were the only ones that didn't know each other before, because like she was in an orchestra with me and Saran.
They did not get along.
No, they didn't.
Her and Saran?
No, her and Isaac.
Yeah, her and Saran had no problems that I know.
She doesn't like your friends besides me and Lauren.
She really doesn't.
She could secretly hate us. We don't know.
Yeah. No, she likes you guys.
Yeah.
She does.
I believe you. So how do you think it's different from like individual? I know we talked like a little about like the support aspect, but than just like a regular group chat. Like, how is this different? Because technically I could text Freaky Freshman and like people would support, you know.
I couldn't tell you who was all in Freaky Freshman.
I think that it's because we weren't brought together by an event. It's not like a musical group chat or like a club group chat where you like all have a common goal. Like we were people who had really honestly nothing in common, and then we found ways to like make friendships work.
That's
we really shouldn't have. We're the patchwork of friendships.
This meeting is about to end, but I wanted to like talk about how different we all are.
We're hanging on by three threads.
But not in like they're really sturdy threads.
They're really sturdy threads.
These are some barbed wire threads.
Because we're not about like it sounds like we're not about to like fracture, you know?
Like no one's gonna get like mad at each other. Like
and if we know how to handle it because we've had fights.
Mm-hmm. We have had fights. That's true. And like there have been periods of time where like people have gone like a long time without speaking to like people like individually in the Zoom group, but like still like joining Zooms with them. Like I don't know. Maybe I'm just adding myself there, but
no, like Jack's done it too.
Yeah, true.
Haley, like they've all done it.
Yeah.
And if there's tensions like between certain people, say I'm like in a really big fight with Saran. This doesn't happen because he doesn't do anything controversial, but like we would still join the Zooms and be.
You don't do anything controversial, sweetie.
Okay, so I've like not like been in a fight, but like no.
With who?
I guess not. Never mind.
Okay, stay in your place.
I have imaginary conflicts. Anyway, I don't know what that says. But like you can still join the Zooms and act normal. It's so weird.
It's quite strange, but some snarky remarks will be shared.
Yeah. Oh yeah, but those are funny.
Mm-hmm. It's all for other people's entertainment, if we're being honest.
Yeah.
So we're so bored all the time because if you think about it, okay, so it's been over a year and we Zoomed, let's an average, because there's nights when we don't and there's nights where it's like 7 hours long.
True.
It's probably average is like 3 hours plus a night. That's over 1,000 hours of talking to these people.
Oh my God.
Think about it.
I need a break.
Kidding. You just said you were missing them so much after the month.
Hypocrite.
Yeah, we went almost a month without talking. Or no, we talked, but like not on the Zooms because there was like musical happening until really late every night. And then there was AP World Test and just it got really busy for everyone.
Yeah. That was when also track was really busy too.
It was just like everything was happening. And so we didn't talk for a while. We like would text individually maybe or like talk in classes or whatever, but it wasn't on Zoom like it normally is. Anyway, but that's over like 1,000 hours talking to each other. And there's still things to talk about somehow.
Sometimes.
Yeah. How do we still have things to talk about?
Because we don't talk until the night. We really don't. Like, so the first couple of hours is what we did today. And then it's us trying to start conversation off. But here's the thing. Zooms don't get good until like 5 hours in. That's why Hangouts don't work because Hangouts are 3 hours.
This is true.
So it's us being like, oh, we did this today. Oh, Saran's here. When's Jack gonna get here?
This is true.
And then, but like things keep happening.
Yes, things do keep happening.
Because Isabella keeps joining.
Interesting. A lot of the happening has to do with Isabella.
But like what?
Like your double relationship.
Every single thing. Every relationship with every single man in the Zoom group.
You know, Isaac
Some of them happening twice, you know.
No, No, literally not. Both of them did not. All of them did not happen twice.
No, one happened.
Only one of them hasn't had resemblance of happening.
Yeah, has had a relapse.
Who have I not relapsed with? I haven't relapsed with two of them.
When
did I relapse with the middle one?
Middle one? Oh,
last night.
That would know.
We don't know. You professed your undying love.
No, not what
that
happened.
Is what we were talking about the entire time you were gone. I did a reenactment of what it was like twice.
Can we see it?
Okay, so this is as well. I'm just feeling all these feelings, and I don't really know how to feel. Yeah, man, I know. It's interesting. And then you're like, but it's hard to feel these feelings. You don't feel the same way about me. No, dude, like, I like the way your brain works. And then it was like, she knows it's true because all of these words were said last night. And then it was, and I know it's just a replacement for Gloria. And he was like, fuck that bitch. And then she was like, I want to fuck you. And then he was like, yeah, I'm coming over. That is what I said twice because I said it once without Haley and then I said it once with Haley. And I said
okay. That did not happen. Okay, anyway, that reenactment is not what happened, Gloria. I'm just
everyone saying agreed.
There's no proof.
It's not what happened.
Yeah. There's no proof.
You don't need proof. You have my word.
We also have your word that we wouldn't find it interesting.
You wouldn't.
Yeah. And I downright don't believe it.
I downright don't believe
it. All right. Well, you're not getting it out of me, so
I'm dropping it for now. I don't know.
This has been the most personal episode.
Yeah, the editing that's gonna happen.
No, it's just like everything's been our specific friend group.
I know. I hope this is relatable in some way, shape, or form.
I hope Sarah and Isaac watch this one.
Oh yeah, we'll tell them to.
When it comes out, like I've gotten Snapchats and Isaac's been like, I saw your newest Instagram post for should I watch this one? Is it good? And I was like, yeah. Or I'll be like, no, it honestly was not good.
I know. I'll be like, no, it was kind of boring. We didn't know what to talk about.
It's kind of interesting. But this one's 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10.
It's gonna be 4 minutes when you cut it all out.
Or it's gonna have to cut everything out. The Zoom group would be a great TV show.
Okay, that's what everyone says. Like I had a neighborhood friend group and everyone's like, we have so much drama, we should make a TV show. Little do you know, everyone in life has this much drama.
No, but it's like kind of out of a TV show.
Who would be the hated character?
Oh no, people would love Jack. People would be
the Joey.
Yeah, Jack's the Joey.
Saran's Chandler and Isaac's Ross.
Everyone would feel bad for Haley.
Everyone would be envious of Lauren.
Monica?
No, because Monica has anger issues, which like makes her more relatable. You don't have like an equivalent of like, oh, she's a nutcase.
Everyone would be like, Isabella, what's her deal? Like, why? Everyone would be like, oh, Gloria, she really is just like the little puppet master, isn't she?
Puppet master? Who do I control?
You just have a weird power over all of us.
I don't know what this means, and I don't know how to feel.
You don't need to feel any type of way about it.
Hey, that is the dumb. It would be so fun to watch.
I would not watch it because the way they would cut the episode would make us look terrible. I know I'm mean. I don't need to hear it back at me.
I want to see. Okay,
who would be the character that would have like the hugest redemption arc?
What's that?
You, because you're at the lowest point, so you have only where to go. But
what does that mean?
Like, oh, I hated them, but you said you were the hated character, so the hated character has the part to go up.
That's true.
Because what's a redemption arc?
Like
no one liked Ross at the beginning of Friends. He was just there, but then when he got in with Rachel, it like created a dynamic.
Yeah, it was like the person. It's that's like the hated
character is what created the dynamic.
Like it's basically like the hated character, and then they like do something nice, and everybody loves them.
I don't think Isabella was ever the hated character in the Zooms.
Who is it? I think from an outside view, she would be.
Yeah. Our entire fan base would just be talking about the romance between Saran and Jack.
No, our fan base would be talking about, it would be like, which Isabella stan are you? And then there would be hashtags of Isabella plus each of the guy names. And then Haley would be thrown in there and I would be thrown in there. It'd be everyone.
I'm the only one that Isabella doesn't have a ship with.
It kind of like, you lose like, not like your self-identity in a way. Because like you are so much of what these people think about you, or you're so much of how you act towards these people. And like if everyone or most people in the group are busy, like you kind of realize, like you're like, oh, I have 8 friends that I'm really close with. This is great. And then like everyone's involved in the same activities. So if there's one sports event where none of us are in sports, I'm just gonna go with sports event because we've said musical 18 times. If there's one sports event, half the group is out. So you realize like I have no one else I can talk to about anything on like any level, you know? Mm-hmm. We all have our math friend. But like my rings are kind of empty in the middle. Like I have like the Zoom group, which is my inner ring, and I have my outer ring of like I've talked to you a few times, but I don't hang out with anyone outside of school except for y'all.
Yeah.
Like not like by choice, but like that didn't invite me.
Same. Like
yeah, same. Besides Olivia.
I hang out, or I haven't actually, I have a couple times, but like my youth group hangs out a little bit. I couldn't go to the last one, but other than that, like on Sundays, obviously, and like we do a couple other things, but they're usually not long, and they're usually not like deep conversations, like watching a movie.
Well, I've never been like, as much as I love, like, to say the name Sydney because there's a Sydney in every situation. Sydney, which Sydney? I don't know. Like, I never think to ask them to hang out because why would I ask this person who like I'm great friends with but barely knows me, when I could hang out with the person that like knows a lot, you know? Mm-hmm. So you don't lose your friends, but you get so far away from them because you're growing so close to this other group. Mm-hmm.
It's weird because it makes it like messes up the scale, I guess, because we're so close with these people. And like with our one best friend or whatever, you know, that the outskirt people seem so like
fake. And like I'm not gonna be like, my life is so much harder than everyone else's, but like I guess besides like Isaac, like everyone else has their other person that they hang out with quite frequently or at least talk to. And again, I'm not like, oh, woe is me. I just want to point out why I like said that statement specifically. Like I don't have any like,
yeah.
And like I have musical friends or whatever, but like they're a lot. There are some big personalities. And like when I don't want to hang out with the group, I don't want a big personality. I would like to just like we go outside and sit and have like a walk or you know. So like everyone else is like, well, I hang out with like Olivia or I hang out with Bethany or whatever. Like I don't. I go a Zoom group or nothing, or like again in class friends.
So it's like I think we talked about the things that are like weird about it, because what's the point in discussing like, oh, it's perfect, like we know, but I think that overall like this is kind of the most I've connected with other people, like more than just a one-on-one level, because you can connect with a person on one-on-one, that's not difficult, you know, but having that group dynamic, having some like letting so many people have a voice in your conversation, you know, that's just I think it's a really positive thing. Oh, we never talked about like our diversity within the group, because that's I think a really important thing. It's not just like physical diversity or whatever, but also
there's some of that too.
There's that too. I know we got all sorts of different. We got like different. What did we say? There's different religions, different races, different sexualities, different genders.
Everything is different.
We are the most Gen Z friend group.
Yeah.
I don't want to say most because I found all gay friend group.
But no, just like the amount of variety that we've got.
But like we're either the one thing that makes it kind of hard is like you're either everything in common or nothing in common. Like Lauren and I, like Isabella too, but she just goes to different schools, so it kind of makes things different. We're in every musical together. We have pretty much all the same classes. We do every extracurricular together, so we have everything together. And then like there is not one thing you could bring up besides the Zoom group that Isaac and I have in common.
Right, like we the people.
And you can't just be like, you're nice people. Like, we have nothing in common. And then Haley and I have like, oh, we like whatever we like we have commonalities. I don't really know how to explain it because it's not musical. It's just like, we can talk about music, we can talk about books, we can talk about movies, and like we just get along. And like, I guess but the guys
still talk every day, you still
I'm just saying, like, it's either I am the exact same person as Lauren and Isabella, and I'm pretty similar to who Haley is, and we're both like strong with our causes, we're both outspoken and loud, and we're going to speak our mind and like can't take bull crap. But like, again, there's nothing, so I'm very talkative and loud and girly, and Isaac is the direct opposite of me. Like,
you always like, everybody has their opposite and their like complement.
I don't think you have an opposite. I think everyone's opposite is Isaac because there is no other human.
I don't think
he's a really social guy who's
he's
like
not really social.
He knows, like, his friends ask him
like
how
all,
the mood.
It's all sports and like fake.
Yours are all musical and fake. Like, the same thing could be.
I feel like he acts like I act. Not. I mean, maybe I don't, but like I think I act similar to how I do. Like on Zooms.
I mean, like, the fact of the matter is that like there are people that are closer within the group and there are people that aren't as close.
There's too much etiquette with Snapchat. I need to point that out.
I agree.
Wouldn't know.
Do we need to do this? Is this necessary?
Mm-hmm. Okay, do we want to give advice?
I want to do one more thing. Do you think it's changed you as a person?
Duh.
I think yes, but it's not because it's a friend group. If you're friends with people for a year, you will be changed because you adopt their mannerisms.
Yeah.
And you just become like a different person every year of life.
Right.
So I have no way to prove that it was because Saran was in my friend group, or it was just because I'm a teenager and I like self-assess.
Mm-hmm. So that's something I think our group does a better job of than a lot, is saying those things. Is like, we say things that are hard to say to each other.
Mm-hmm.
I've told like we've, as a group, not just like, and they're not like insults. They're just like, hey, like sometimes it's hard to ask like, hey, you are acting weird. Are you okay? Like, that's sometimes difficult.
I'm just blunt at this point. I'm saying.
So I think that's something our group has kind of worked towards, is like addressing things that like are probably easier to just keep under wraps,
Yeah.
And so we're getting somewhere. All right. I think let's do advice.
Okay.
My advice is find a group of people. Like, even though it kind of sucks sometimes, like, it really is great. So like, find a group of people, make them your people, and like, you will be greatly benefited by that.
My advice is little things that like bother you or get to you or whatever. Everybody has them. And so at some point you can't expect the people around you to be perfect. And so, yeah, obviously it's good and it's healthy to like work on flaws in yourself and like help others do it too. But it's also, it crosses a line at some point. So it's also healthy to just accept that there's like flaws that come with people, that it's like, you gotta like, if someone's not ready to say something, like we all three have had in the past like 72 hours, we're like, I'm not
24.
Like, just, hey, can we like not unpack this? Like, we're just gonna
12.
Yeah. Anyway, that's like, it's okay. And I think if someone's, yeah, that's my advice, is let people come as they are and don't try and fix them always.
I don't have advice. I legit can't think of any. Breathe. Take 4 deep breaths. Bend ragdoll.
Bow.
Let your head laying low.
This is rise, slowly stacking vertebra on top of vertebra.
Vertebra.
What the heck?
It's our
This
choir.
is how Mr. Instructs. Benno ragdoll.
Yeah.
Oh my, okay. I think that's enough.
Check the description, and hopefully this week Gloria's episode is out. So yay, go check it out. That's 2 YouTube shorts that are up already. We need to get those view counts. Come on, help us out. They're exclusively on YouTube.
That was desperate.
FOR.
This is desperate.
The number 4 _ TEENS. Mwah. Goodbye.